Welcome back, my students. Today the topic is smart materials. Okay, as like our smartphones, others, we have smart materials nowadays. It is very helpful, and we have nanoscience and piezoelectric material, etc., etc. Let me check the categories under which category it is coming, or under this category how many materials or what are the materials are coming. That also we can see. Okay, so smart materials, nothing but it's going to do some reaction when we are giving some load or some variations, etc. Okay, and then when this thing is came to normal, it became to its original position. As you can see, photochromatic, chromic, piezoelectric, polymorph, thermochromic, etc., etc., and including the shape memory alloys. So these are all coming under the category of smart materials. Okay, so be aware of nanomaterials as well as sharp materials. Okay, now tell me, what is the smart materials? Okay, so as I told, if you are giving something, it going to do some output as like sensors and sensors, yeah, it going to give some outputs. Okay, it's depend upon the input, not all the material, not all the cases, but for something they're going to give. Okay, so smart materials are the materials that are manipulated to respond in a controllable and reversible way. Okay, but in sensor it will sense and it will give some outputs, whether the stator is increasing or decreasing, their work is sense and give. But here we have two keywords, controllable and reversible way. As I told in the introduction part, it may be reversible. Okay, so it can be modify some of their properties. I told you the beginning, you can see photochromic and thermochromic. That means they're going to change the colors and other things. Piezoelectric, you know that if they're changing their displacement, changing their shapes, we'll get electricity. When you are giving the electricity, we can give clear cut shape to them, or we can turn into the old position. Similarly, if you're going for the shape memory alloys, when you are heating, it will change into some shape. When it is cooling, it will come back to original position. Okay, so same thing only we are giving as a definition, because it's a collector of matters, material, so we have to define like this. So due to this, smart material also called as responsive material, because if you are going to do something, they're going to give some reactions. That's it. So this is, so why we are going for smart materials. Again keep, don't show this message away. Okay, so what a smart material can do, it may be do self healing or self repairing. I can see that in nowadays mobile phones also coming with self healing. When you are taking one knife and just make one scratch on the cell phone skin, it will produce, it will produce some scratch. After certain time it will cure itself. If you look at those things, you won't find any scratches or anything. Okay, deformations and reverse work, as like piezoelectric material, it may undergo some deformations and it may become back to its original position when the load is taken away. Okay, understand the situations to make quick reaction. Okay, and to the situation act simultaneously and acts at the actuators as well as sensors. Sometimes the photo coating, no, the paints which having different pigments may be change their colors when the temperature or UV rays or sunlights are placing on it. Depending upon the concentration, their color may be changed, or sometimes it may actuate as a sensor to see those things. Otherwise, it may be act as a triggering mechanisms to open something or trigger something, so that the temperature or the light intensity may be maintained constantly. Okay, and also perform controlled mechanical action without any external mechanism. Yes, so in opening closing, assume one case like opening and closing of the wall, instead of mechanical devices, if you are putting shape memory alloys, if the temperature is increasing, they may be open or they may be closed according to the rise of the temperature. When it's cooling down, definitely it will close it, depending upon the applications you check it. Adaptive with the environmental condition. Yes, it should be adapt with the environmental condition. You should not say that it is work only in the laboratory condition and outside condition it won't work. If you are saying like this, that is not good for any applications. It's simply waste. Okay, so some piezoelectric materials, shape memory alloys, as mentioned in the front page, these are all coming under the category of smart materials. And you know very well about the piezoelectric materials. If they are giving load, they will change the dimension, they will give some electricity as output. Okay, shape memory alloys also, you know, if you are heating, they will change the shapes, and when you are cooling, it will come to original position. So chromoactive materials, what is chromo? Okay, check it in the internet, or otherwise read the line 2 to 3 times and you will get a clear cut idea. Chromoactive materials means they may be able to detect the temperature changes, light and etc, and they can give some response output. Okay, some if someone is wearing specs, daylight glass or something people are wearing, when sunlight are falling on the glass, it became a little bit dark. Okay, that also one of the smart materials. So magnetorheological method materials, and not only for light rays, but according to the magnetic waves and magnetic field, materials can be changed their shape and size. They may give some response that we call as the magnetorheological materials. And this also used in the shock absorbers to prevent the seismic vibrations, the bridges and skyscrapers. What is skyscrapers? If you don't know, check the net. Otherwise, let me tell you, the tallest buildings. Okay, to check, to make alignment of the magnetoparticles, no other particles, when you are passing the magnetic waves, so that they will be act as a shock absorbers. Other than normal times, it won't. Okay, so photoactive materials that we will know most of the times. Okay, so when the photons or light rays are falling, fluorescent like reflected lights, those things are using, and they may be detect or emit some light rays. Okay, so depending on that we can check it out whether the which type of light rays are falling on them. Okay, and how, what is the intensity, etc. The radium balls and other things in your school days and your children childhood days, if you have played, it will be very good example, because when light rays are passing on the radium, it will absorb, then it will emit for some times. Okay, even though there is no source, after that it will emit. That's all. So magnetorheological material that I have already placed, it's the second time I am placing this one, just leave it. Okay, let me go to some case studies. Hmm. um, so first one is the case studies which is in the light sensitive or photochromatic category. So you can see here there is a piece of material was placed in the dollar, and you can see one is in white color, another one is in pink color. So nothing but I told it light sensitive. So when you are passing the UV rays or UV lights, what happened, this material will absorb the UV rays and it is changing the colors. Okay, so some kind of response, that is change of color, also one of the response. Thus we going to check how much UV intensity is available and what is the concentration, that intensity, nothing but. So, okay, this will be very helpful in designing the space suit. And some childrens, they have some rare disease, skin disease. When UV rays are falling on their skin, it becomes reddish, or sometimes it may bring rashes on their skin. For them, we can check, we can use a piece of material as a dollar or some other watches or wristband, etc, so that they can detect what, how much amount of UV is available. Because every time we cannot go with the digital equipments to show or measure the UV rays, it's very difficult, so we need a normal one. Okay, some case studies too. If you are assume that if you are going for space and there is no magnetic field when you are crossing the earth atmosphere, so the direct sun rays will fall on your body, including the UV, IR, etc. So in order to detect how much UV, IR rays are coming and affecting your body or affecting your dress or the space suit, you can use this material. Okay, this will be very helpful for those applications only. Okay, so apart from the generation of electricity from heat, reduction of temperature, also another applications. Okay, that's it. So temperature sensitive. Now next one is the temperature sensitive thermochromic materials. So similar to the previous case, we are going to give the heat or cold, both, any one you can give. So depending upon that, it may be give the response. It is very much needed when you are working with some solutions or some particular materials to check whether it's going to properly available or not, whether temperature is incorrect or not. Because if you're going for cryogenic level, I told you, if you're putting one piece of rose inside the cryogenic solution, it became brittle. So we have to use some specialized materials, and we cannot say that all the materials may be work or employed with some kind of outputs, digital outputs and other things. So we need some indirect measurements to check whether the material is in hot or is in too cold. Okay, for other applications they are using. So many factories and for even medical applications also, we are using this apply these materials. Okay, so these materials, when you are placing inside the freezer some medicines, you can keep these materials also, so that depending upon the changes in the temperature and other things, it may be give some response changing the colors or etc, so that we can adjust or we can maintain. We cannot say that all the times everything will be in Unico. So another applications here they are mentioning correcting the temperature or to monitor patient's temperature. Yes, absolutely. And sometimes if you are transporting one human plant from one place to another place, you can use this material, place it inside or put it in nearby the visual area, so that the temperature how much it is maintained, because we cannot freeze it too much low and we cannot leave it just like that. We need to maintain some level. Further also we can take some reference point and we can maintain how much temperature. Okay, so this may be used in the robust operation condition also. It can give a good output, and researcher also so happy about these materials because they are working fine. Okay, so next one is the self healing. Before that we have one chemically sensitive, that means pH level. Depending upon the pH level also it may be give some response. But now we are popularly using self healing materials. As I told, it was used in the mobile phone applications also. Okay, so self healing materials are is coming up with the which type of material? They are coming glass type of materials. Okay, and now only we are going for normal usage, as I told, in the cell phone market and etc. Okay, but before that it may be used in textiles, paints, etc, and some materials used in boiler and pressure vessel application also, where my friend Mr. Sumesh, he did his PhD work from self-healing materials only, and which is used in the boiler design, bendings, etc. Okay, so stress concentration will be more and the bend and sharp notches. So he using sometimes, because where the sharp corners or bendings are available, we may be experience more stress when compared to other parts. Thus, it may be produce stress cracking when you are operating at elevated temperature. So that time we cannot go inside the boilers and detect those things. So we need a self-healing materials to cover those things. Later we can use that material to check the repairs and conditions, etc, once operation is over. Okay, so that application only he developed, and he was studied full things was studied with self-healing materials. Okay, so it may have the self-repairing capability. Okay, as like a biological system, but possibility is very less. I told you, very less materials we can use. Okay, so self-healing paint, and we are using that is for high-end vehicles like Kawasaki materials and other things. You can see here I have mentioned Kawasaki materials in the internet. I have mentioned, so these Kawasaki motorcycles has been the self-healing materials. So it will be more attractive but more costly also, and I don't think so we people are using this material bike in our India, but maybe in Japan, the American, they may be used. Okay, so why these applications in the Kawasaki? Okay, so if you are seeing the scratches in our vehicles, it's become very frustrated movement when you are purchasing a new car and finding some scratches after 10 or 20 days usages. So if you are using self-healing materials, the painting will be covered automatically after the scratch. Okay, so that you won't feel any tensions. That is the best applications. It's not that much big, but they're having something. Okay, so that they are describing that is a highly durable paint. So will self-repairing of that one. So if you want, you just go to the surf the net and you will get that idea. Okay, so next one is the most important, that magnetic sensitive materials and magnetic rheological fluids. So what in whether, let me tell one small things. We have the blood inside our body. So inside our body it is in liquid. When the blood is coming out of from our body, it became solid. Okay, so I don't think so whether if you are keep put this thing inside our body, it became normal or not. So with respect to magnetic field, sometimes these magnetic fluids will act as a liquid and sometimes it may act as a solid. Okay, so this characterization, this response used to make brakes. Okay, so block the valves. Okay, and act as a sensor and maybe act as a suspension system. That's a secondary cases. Okay, so instead of using traditional valves and other things, by freezing the one side, applying the magnetic field, you can freeze the flow of one side. That also possible. That is very much useful and possible. Okay, so Let me go to magnetic sensitive. So what type of materials we can use, and if you see in the material science, paramagnetic, ferromagnetic, etc., etc., so we are using ferromagnetic fluids. Okay, that materials which having the ferro, that may be using the ferro fluids. Okay, so it is very much useful in automatic suspension as mentioned over here. So how it's going to act as a suspension system, that we will check. Okay, so another one I talk about the magnetorheological fluids. If you want to make a complete restriction on the flow, give maximum magnetic field so that it becomes solid and it will be stop the flow. If you want to give partial flow, reduce the magnetic field into half. Okay, so for this thing, the values and other things, you have to check the conditions and you have to check the applications and go through some research articles. I am encouraging you for smart materials, kindly go through some research articles. It will be very helpful for you because you guys are youngster, you may go to some abroad, you can do your master research work. Okay, now this is without any magnetic field, they will be aligned randomly within the space. Okay, otherwise sometimes you put it is in the bed. Okay, when you are giving the magnetic field, it became aligning like this. Okay, so that it may be act as a suspension system and damping system. Slowly it will go here and there instead of directly coming and touching the two parts. This will be the restrictions. Okay, so it is a simple and easiest application with smart materials. The response is, when you are applying the magnetic field, it will come like this. That is the response. Okay, so active coating for smart materials. In between we have missed smart memory alloys, because memory alloys, shape memory alloys, we are going to see separate work. That's not, I'm not going to focus. Okay, most probably it is in ethanol, used in most of the places. Okay, so active coating for smart textiles. So this topic also very much important, because this is also I taken as one of the case studies. Okay, so it is very very helpful. Mm, so in the textile materials, last time what we did in current days, we are giving some what we doing, we are giving some aesthetic look, colors, etc. But in olden days, what they did, in olden days we have did that one only, but in nowadays we are going to use smart material to detect start giving the response. Because if you are working in the furnace, okay, if the temperature is increasing little bit, okay, you cannot go and monitor. If someone is monitoring you by seeing the color changes of your code, they may be give the instruction. Similarly, if you are working with the nuclear power plant or radiation hazard sectors, we have some small meters which will also give some noise. Okay, it will also give noise and it can give some radiation result. But if the working environment is too noisy, if you are too careless, this type of active coating materials will give some indication, so that others also can thinking easily understand from where you are working, what kind of environment you are working. So they may be helpful. These coatings are very much helpful to check the flame. Okay, not only the flame, heat and temperature, pH value. Sometimes if you are working in the chemicals or some kind of plant cleaning tankings or the sewage sector, it may be give pH value. Chemical and ionic strength, yes, absolutely, that's what I'm telling. And electromagnetic radiations, ultraviolet, the space shoot, etc. Electrical and magnetic field, yes, small coatings will may align into straight path, or it may be aligned to some perfect places where we are giving the program, so that we can check. Okay, the mechanical stresses, absolutely, that also by changing its shape or size we can give measure it. Water and humidity, and that also possible, because most of the times that godown and other things, water particles and humidities are available. So depending on that, we can show whether it's in big size or it may be in lean size. That also very much useful. Okay, so these characters are easily applicable when compared to previous cases. Electromagnetic fields are very very easy and applicable. Okay, if you are wearing some suit, if the magnetic field is too high, it may be restricted, it may be become solid and it may be restrict your movement, so that you can easily identify that you are working in the heavy magnetic field. Some applications like sorry to say this thing, but if you have seen the Terminator film, the latest film, you may easily understand the smart materials and their concept they have utilized very well. Okay. And another one, we are using phase change materials, that we will see, and one more case study. Okay, so um, Now, normal in normal coatings will be go for clothing, home furnishing, medical usage, and etc. etc. But this also very much helpful. This new type of coatings. Okay, so active materials which going to be transparent by sensing and responding the properties of the textiles to a traditional coating technologies. Okay, same technology, but we are going to give a new materials over it. So according to the adaptive coating textiles have programmed to respond to small environment changes. So that environment changes are shown over here. So number of active materials we are using in the textile, as I mentioned, color changes, etc. Okay, so some of the materials are polymeric hydrogels. That also one of the materials where it is going to give a response like change in temperature, pH sensitive light, and light, salt, and stress. Okay, these things going to be detected by using polymeric hydrogels. Okay, so most commonly used hydrogels in activating materials um, gels are like a monomer structure or copolymerizations, those type of actives we are noting. The widely applied and known hydrogel active coating application is the temperature dependent water vapor permeability in the textiles, because in the textiles we need unique coating and we have to maintain some moisture level until it's getting out from the industry, otherwise we cannot extract the maximum output, the fibers and other things. Okay, sometimes the characters like maybe swelling or some integrity of these characters may be damaged, okay, by switching the temperature above and below to that. So we are going to use these materials to detect the temperature as well as water content, moisture level, etc. So memory polymers, they can be sense thermal, mechanical, elastic, and magnetic stimulations, and they can give the shape changes as position changes or stiffness. As I told, if you are in the magnetic liquid fluids or anything, if the magnetic field is high, it became solid, so that we can understand it is so serious. Okay, so that also we are using, and some morphological changes like shape, size, and light reflections, that also going to check or give the response that we are working in the some restricted conditions. Okay, so they are using the development techniques a lot and lot, the how to give the coatings by yarn coatings, and you can dip it. Okay, and so like foam coatings, etc. you can give. Okay, so these are all the latest technology, and you can also be happy to study these uh, applications. Okay, so next one is the personal protective equipments. So what you first know about personal protective equipments, what are they? Personal protective equipments, like when you are let us take the welding, you are using goggles and gloves on the welding operation before you going to weld, right? So those things, apron also you are wearing, that is called personal protective equipment. When you are in kitchen, your mom will wear one apron over your sari or chudidar, that is called personal protective equipments. Okay, so in normal conditions no need, but we are going engage with some programs and research work or some other mechanical operations, we have to wear the personal protective equipments. Not only that, if you are working environment too noisy, you can use your earbuds, that also personal protective equipments, that equipment which can protect a personal from the hazards, simply say that is a concept. Okay, so you can mention that face shield, ear blacks, ear muffle, floating and vest, etc etc, there's a personal protective equipment only. So they may be used to provide, and they may be used to save from you from the moisture barrier, waterproof moistures or flames or UV rays, hazards, etc etc. Okay, so in fact, why we need it? So body covering, these equipments are very much important. Sometimes when we are working in the extreme condition, this personal protective equipment may not help you. Okay, so that we need to detect up to which range it's a safe level. Okay, so that was we are going to use these materials to check whether we are in the good or not. Okay, so very much the applications, if you see, and it's indicating the locations. Yes, in the firemen's they are using the suits to check the GPS locations. It was included by using the magnetic field or other sensors we can use where they are, whether they are in the second floor, third floor, etc, etc. So we may integrated some cooling and heating system depending upon the operating temperature. Communication system also we can use. Okay, energy harvesting is the second one. By walking or running we are making energy harvesting by using piezoelectric materials and other things. And 5 6 years before, then some gals, she only did it in the shoe. They have made the piezoelectric material to generate the electricity. That also possible. Okay. So major thing is comfort and economics of the personal protective equipment. Further also we can make it. So another one is temperature changes and their effect. Okay, some materials like paraffin wax and other things, and if the temperature is changing, they absorb the latent heat and they became undergo the phase changes, solid to liquid. And when you are cooling down, the same reactions going to be happen again, reversing manner, so that our body will maintain as a same level of temperature instead of rising or some other drawbacks. Okay, so so these are all the highlights I want to mention. Okay, so in the case of firefighters, let me take. Okay, the bunk suits generally we are having. Okay, they have to wear 2 3 layers of dresses, and which may be increased nearly 20 to 25 kg. And if you see the military peoples, they are wearing 60 kg vest also. So that is very difficult. So what we are going to do, instead of wearing those things, we are going to check. Okay, so advanced textile materials may be used to reduce this weight by simplification following an outer shell which can be mechanical as well as frame protection as well as durability, so that we can reduce the 5 6 layers. Okay, and the moisture barrier we need it, because when you are getting inside the house which is banding, it's very very difficult. Okay, a barrier, waterproof and breathable membranes. So if the temperature is or some CO2 level is this much, means you should give some breathing time to the workers or the rescue people, so that they can work normally. Otherwise they also suffered from the less content of oxygen. Okay, so this type of breathable membranes may be open and closed depending upon the CO2 level as well as temperature level. Okay, or maybe the external command. Okay, chemical or biological compound while preserving some level of breathability. Yes, that also possible. Some fungus they maybe take CO2, then they can liberate the oxygen, that also we can place over there. Okay, so the inner thermal barrier containing the flame resistant, thermal insulating and non-woven materials. These type of materials they have developed, and now we are working. And also some we need some aesthetic look, so that we can easily identify if they are stuck in some other earthquake or second third floors of the containment, etc etc, that also we can do. And the responsive barriers and some grid mechanisms they are using. And self decontaminating membranes. Okay, that also they are using as a new technology. And thermoregulating materials what we are using here. Okay, that's a phase change materials I already told. Okay, so it's very much important to study about the smart materials. And apart from that, shock absorbing materials also available under the category, but this is enough I think. Okay, so students, these are all most of the things are we going to normal applications. And you should work with smart materials if possible for the next studies, or when you're going for higher educations. Okay, uh, thank you. And please kindly go to and study the properties of the paraffin materials. Okay, and it's maybe melt around 27 to 40 degrees celsius, round off you take 30 to 40 degrees celsius. And it may be getting freeze to 15 to 25 degrees celsius. Okay, within this range you can work without any difficulties. It may give a comfort level to you. Okay, and that's it. Polyurethane foams and other things also you can use as materials. That's very fine. So some of the references I got for our classwork. Okay, so anyway, thank you.